The seagulls are still flying, and the river still runs free, all the way to the harbour, where the weir meets the sea. But the flash from the welder's torch that once lit up a weir-side sky has disappeared like the sound of banging metal on metal. I cry.
I'm very aware that this actually isn't the river. The river and the sea meet somewhere in that region, and I'm not sure where the official start or end is. However, I thought I'd start a video about the river weir at the part of it that I'm most familiar, which is actually the beach. Because if you're from Sunderland like I am, the housing estate you grew up in, even the house you grew up in, probably doesn't feel quite as familiar or as homely to you as what the beach does. And that's the case for me. I spent endless summers here, weekends here, nights here as a kid. I've brought the dogs and my kids here, and hopefully the grandkids when I ever get some, if I ever get any. So this is where I'm starting. In this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the river weir from the familiar, which is the sort of this section towards the end of the river, all the way to the bits I've never ever visited before, all the way upstream, and hopefully find the source of the river weir.
As a child I'd watch the ships get launched from dry dock to the weir. As the chains were dragged and the tugs took hold, workers would clap and cheer. Hand in hand with me mom and dad, me sisters, brothers and me, as we watched another work of art leave the weir for the sea.
Because I don't live in Sunderland anymore, I don't actually get down the beach anywhere near as often as I would like to for sunrise. It's maybe once or twice a year, if that. And in the winter I haven't really got an excuse either, because sunrise was at 8:30, so it's not even early. But I've really missed it actually. I forget how nice it is just to get out and get some nice fresh sea air first thing in the morning before we start heading up the river to some of the less familiar sections. It should be cool to go back and revisit places I haven't been to for a very long time.
Generations of families, the shipbuilders young and old, brought fame and fortune to Sunderland, for the ships were strong and bold. From sea to sea they ruled the waves, built on the river weir. I hope these echoes in my memory will never ever disappear.
I'm guessing that the river kind of terminates somewhere in this region and turns into the sea, maybe a little bit further back there. I'm not entirely sure where the exact end or start of it is. However, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be heading up this way. And what I'm hoping to achieve with this video, especially this part of the video where I take you to the familiar places, places that I've visited tons of times that maybe it's not that exciting to me now, is to inspire you to do the same. Because if you treat these places, the places near your house, near your home, places you maybe walk all the time, as if you were giving someone a guided tour, you'd be surprised how much more them places mean to you than what you realise when you're just walking your dog there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not showing you the very best of Sunderland. I'm not showing you the bits that other people... There'll be other bits what other people are like, why did you not go here? Why did you not go there? I'm just showing you the bits that mean something to me along the section that is familiar to me. And then we'll get to the bits where I haven't got a clue, and we'll see whether I like them or not.
As the ships cut through the harbour, beauty would appear. As the people seen the ships come out, people they would cheer. Deep down in this heart of mine, forever more.
What a lovely start of the day. I think next what I'll do is there's a new bridge that's been built in Sunderland. I've never been to it before and it looks pretty cool, so that's where we'll go next. See what that's all about. Lovely fresh start of the day. I haven't had that sort of start since I moved away from Sunderland, to be honest.
If you're looking to grab yourself a travel guidebook for Scotland, Denmark or the insane country of Norway, you can save yourself 20% off using the code that's in the description. You can also get yourself a free NC500 map pack add-on in the Campervan Life app if you join the app using the link that's also in the description. As a YouTube channel that does no sponsored videos and no paid product reviews, the revenue from both of these directly fund the creation of all of these YouTube videos, which would not be possible without your incredible support.
into your football, whether you like Sunderland or hate Sunderland, you cannot deny that the Stadium of Light is a great stadium. As a Man United fan who, I suppose, has an affinity to supporting Sunderland, if affinity is even the right word, I do go to a few Man United games a season, and you become very aware of how old and just ran down Old Trafford is in comparison to this, which it looks rough around this side, strangely, and I genuinely didn't realise they hadn't finished painting it. But you cannot deny that the Stadium of Light is a fantastic stadium.
You caught me off guard. Tears are streaming, my eyes are teeming with all nostalgia's lies. It emptied my heart. All the weight dropped out my stomach with all my defenses down. What is this place? Can you take me back to somewhere, darling?
So this is the new bridge. It's a footbridge that leads from the city centre across to the Stadium of Light, and I've never actually been here. But what I'm more impressed with is that not just the bridge, but it seems like they're building or laying a new path down by the coast, which used to be a nice little bike ride along the coast, and it become very ran down, a little bit rough. It looks like they're doing the whole thing again, which is great. It's nice to see them doing so much, to be honest. The city's just a hub of building, which is very much the opposite of Durham, which seems to be going the other way.
Alright, mate.
Hi, bud.
Do you know that footpath there? Where does that take you to? Do you know?
I don't know if you... So I haven't lived in Sunderland for, I don't know, 6 years maybe. And when you move away from Sunderland, it's easy to become, or anywhere I suppose, it's easy to become fairly critical. And I've definitely been critical. Sunderland as a city just felt so dead. I grew up here, lived here pretty much my entire life. My parents live here still, my kids still go to school here. But it's been a while since I've actually been into Sunderland like this. And if I'm being completely honest, this is the first time in a long time where it's really felt alive. Like, fully alive. Like they're investing a lot, they're building it. It feels like it's not going downhill. You can feel the change. You know, it feels, you can feel it. There's like an energy and a buzz around the city. And I know Sunderland, Newcastle, Middlesbrough, Leeds, all of these northern places hinge a lot on the football club. And this one at the minute, Sunderland Football Club, are really, really rallying the city. Everyone's behind them. Everyone's got the scarves on, the hats as they're walking around. It's fantastic to see. Feels incredible. It's such a change from what I expected it to be like. I haven't been into the city centre for a good few years. That's the first time, and I was very, very surprised by how it feels in there.
These streets break my heart. There's pain I'm feeling and desperate yearning for all my friends who died.
So this stop is just a quick one, and it's not somewhere I particularly enjoy visiting too much, but it's a key part of the River Wear, especially down towards Sunderland, or at least it was for me as a kid. So that bridge behind us is the Queen Alexandra Bridge, and that bridge was the key bridge that we drove across regularly, is like with my parents when I was a kid. I used to walk across it when I worked at PC World, when I used to walk to work before I could drive. But that bridge is also the same bridge where a friend from primary school and secondary school called John Chip, who was legitimately a really nice bloke, he was thrown off the bridge by a taxi driver after a night out and killed. They found his body upstream, so rest in peace, Chippy. He wasn't like a good kid as in he's not here with us anymore, but he was a bit of a wrong, and he was actually a really nice lad. Everyone got on with him. His family were lovely, his mum and dad lovely, his brother Mark, again, lovely bloke. So, yeah, not a place with particularly fond memories now, but still a key part of Sunderland. Especially for people who lived in the sort of area I did, because it was either the A19 bridge or this bridge. We didn't have the new one, which is just up there. The sun coming out now. Anyway, let's push on. I want to go and have a look at this boat, see if I can find it, and see if it's exactly where I remember it being. It's probably not. Dinner time. It's been a long time since I've been to this retail park. I used to work in 2 different shops and a call centre just there. Back in the day when I was a young'un, long time ago. Cheeseburger and chips. And then we'll head off down the river, see if I can find this boat, ship, whatever it is. So that's the new bridge. I think it was called like the Northern Spire or something at one point, but I think it's called Keel Crossing now. And that's a much easier, better way to get into Sunderland city centre. And in all fairness, it's cool because you can see it from miles away, and let's face it, it's a pretty cool looking bridge, to be fair. However, the reason I've come down here, which I thought was much further along, is just there, which is the boat. And there's a story about the boat that we were told as kids that turned out to be a load of shite. It's completely untrue, just made up. So that is the boat there, and I don't know how well you can see it because of the sun. But the story was, when I was a kid, that it was basically a concrete boat that was built and put there as a distraction, as like a decoy for the bombers in the World War, so that they would bomb that and not the actual boats being built down at the shipyards. However, that's actually not true, and I only found that out when I'd done a bit of research. So the boat itself is called a Crete Hauser, if that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure. And it's essentially, it's a working tug, and it's built out of reinforced concrete. But it was actually bombed in 1943, and then it was towed there and left there, and it was towed there to be an emergency breakwater and for riverbank protection. So there you have it. It blew my mind when I found it out, because it's just one of them things that you get told, and then I would tell my kids, they would probably tell their kids, and how many generations down the line that would go had I not found out that that's not true. So yeah, let us know in the comments any other little sort of mystical stories or stories about certain things near where you live that you presumed was true, and then you find out when you're a bit older that it's actually completely untrue and it's just made up. That's mine.
Those were the times where we all had nothing. Most of my friends are still against it. For all I gave was something like, what is this place? Can you take me back to somewhere, darling? These purple days left a barren mark on the old tree hollows. Singing and laughing, was it ever what I thought it truly was?
Pension Monument. That's what I'm here to see, and the reason I wanted to see Pension Monument so much isn't because of the monument, although it is fairly cool. It's actually the signal to pretty much everyone who lives surrounding Sunderland that you're nearly home. When you've been away somewhere else, you've been out for the day, you've been to work or something like that, you're driving up or down the A19, or you're coming across from Washington, something like that. Pension Monument is that like central point on the top of a hill. You can see it from miles around, where you know you're nearly home. I could see it when I lived in Chesterley Street. I could see it from there. It reminded us of home. It's just the beacon of being home. Funnily enough, though, to be fair, for most young kids now, the new bridge probably is that. But for us, it was definitely Pension Monument. So I'm going to get up the hill. I haven't been up there for a long, long time, and have a look at the views and stuff from the top. See if I can dodge some of the rain clouds that look like they're making their way over. See, it's a lot bigger than it looks from the road. I mean, you can see it from miles around, but it doesn't look too big. When you get up, it's a decent size. So it's built to replicate, hold on, I'll find out, a Greek temple in Athens called the Temple of Hephaestus, whatever that looks like. But it does look Greek. And yeah, it's a great spot. You can see all of Sunderland all the way down to the coast from here. It's a nice walk up. Good for the kids. There's usually like sheep or cows and stuff sometimes roaming around, grazing in the hills as well. It's very nice. And you can actually see from here what keeps most of Sunderland ticking, which I'll show you. That monster factory down there is Nissan, and Nissan employs over 6,000 staff just in that one factory alone. It's a huge deal in the northeast of England, especially in sort of Castletown, Hilton Castle, Red House, Downhill, Town and Farm, the areas where I spent all my time as a kid and where I lived. Pretty much everyone's parents or uncles or whatever worked in that plant, and it's still the same now. I know a lot of people that still work there. I've never personally worked there, but I know a lot of people that have and do currently work in Nissan. Again, now to deal with the river, we can't really mention Sunderland and come to Penworth Monument without mentioning what that absolute beast of a thing down there is. I'm not sure how true it is, but from being a kid I was always told there's stairs in there that go up. So anyone who has been up there or knows whether that's actually true or not, let us know in the comments, because I'm not sure. Well, some idiot, me, forgot that I had proper muddy boots, and I've came in and just trailed clots all the way through. But yeah, that's Penworth Monument. It's been years since I've been up the top of there. I forgot how cool it is to be able to see sort of all of Sunderland. I am going to be heading back down towards the river now though. And like I said, this isn't me saying this is all the bits to come and do or see in Sunderland. This is me kind of almost reminiscent of an area that I already know. So the part of the weir that I'm very familiar with. So I'm going to Finchdale Abbey or Finchdale Priory or whatever it's actually called, but we call it Finchdale Abbey. And I actually live 5 minutes up the road from it now. So it's all the way in Durham. There's plenty between here and there. You've got like Cox Green, very nice down there. You got like Fatfield Way, you got loads down Washington. You got the Wildfell or Waterfell Park or whatever it's called. You got Chesley Street Park, which is nice with the Riverside Stadium and Lumley Castle. There's loads between here and there, but I'm going to skip all of them because it's all the bits that mean something to me. Of a ruin is Finchdale Abbey or Finchdale Priory. We call it Finchdale Abbey. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be said, but that's just how we've always named it. And it's a pretty cool ruin. It goes on quite a bit actually, and it's right on the River Wear. It's not too far from Durham, not too far from Chesley Street. It's kind of in between the two. And I thought I'd pop in. The river's just there, which is what I'm here to actually show you. But I thought I'd pop in and see it. Fun fact is, just through there, through that arch, you might be able to see a bit of green. That's a pretty cool campsite. So if you are wanting to explore this area, or Durham itself, that's a spot on little camp spot to stay at. See your van and get your electric hook up and all that if that's what you need. But anyway, let's go and have a look at this river. 99% certain that it was that little section there where me and Danny were baptised 2 years ago maybe now. Just in there. We'd just come back from Spain as well, used to some nice heat. And then gone in the brown cowled river weir. Nice place to do it though, you've got the abbey and stuff just there. I don't know if you can see it. Just there. Very nice. And then the last bit I'm looking for, I don't know if it will still be here or if there's currently one, because it's not the one from me being a kid, but it's the swing that goes into the river. There's like a couple of trees that always seem to have a bit of rope tied to them with a little seat on or a handle to hold on that you swing and jump into the river. And I know the river looks super fast flowing at the minute because it's January, but in the summer it's not like that. I'm not chucking my kids in any sort of white water rapids, and it is, of course it's there, never a doubt. It's funny because this beach, this bit of beach just here, if you can see it, there, it's just a little gravelly sandbar with a bit of mud mixed in. When we were kids, it felt like a sort of Caribbean beach, especially in the summer because it goes a little bit lighter. We always felt like we were coming to like a little hidden spot, but there would always be loads of other people sort of chilling on here, which it is tiny. But the swings are there, there's two of them at the minute. That was the same sort of location when we were kids because there was some sort of stepping stones and stuff. When the water level's much lower, you can get most of the way across the river fairly easily. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed my time down here. And watching my kids have time down here as well. There is mostly the familiar parts of the river weir covered. I've got Durham to cover at the beginning of the next episode, but it's been very cool to go back to a place where I still visit pretty much every day, but I haven't like actually went and looked around for a very long time. And it's been fantastic to see, and it wasn't intended to come out as a bit of a love letter to Sunderland, but it's just turned out to be that way. And I would highly urge you to visit places maybe where you grew up or where you've spent a big chunk of your time that you feel like you know but you haven't been to for a long time, and go back with the mindset of, if I was showing someone else around this place, what would I go to, what would I see, what would I say? And it's been great. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. So the next part of it will be a lot more interesting because it's basically stuff that I've never been to before, places I've never visited before, things I've never seen before, while I work my way all the way upstream to the beginning, the source of the River Weir. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.